Welcome everyone to this development update from the guys at iRACING, in particular Greg Hill. He is the Senior Vice President and Executive Producer at iRACING. And if you're unfamiliar with these updates, of course, with iRACING being a live service, we get 4 seasonal updates throughout the year. And with that comes a whole host of features, updates, new content, tracks, cars, etc. And this is their way of breaking that down for us and keeping us up to date with what they're working on, because we do pay a monthly subscription to them. So yes, it's really handy to get a peek behind the curtain of exactly what is upcoming and what to look forward to in the year ahead, not just the next season. And well, the last one we got was at the end of 2023, just before the season 1 build. And of course, the discussion was around the Tempest system, codenamed by iRACING, for rain. Will they, won't they? And unfortunately, it turned out they won't. While they had all the best intentions to, some unforeseen developments meant that they had to postpone that. And however, in this update, guys, you'll be glad to hear that rain has been confirmed to be coming in March. So yes, we have finally the feature we've been waiting over 2 years for coming this year. So great to see, and with more cars as well, but we'll get into that shortly. Now, this whole update is very extensive, guys. As you can see, you need to take some time out here to read through it all. I will link this development update in the description below. You will need an iRACING login to be able to read this in full, but I'm going to do my best to break this down for you. And I have to give a massive shout out to 2 guys in particular from my Discord community. One, that is Mr. Adrian Clark. He is the iRACING guru, guys, if you know Adrian. He is forever breaking down the hot fixes, the updates. He is now the F1 community leader as well on iRACING. So yeah, a top guy. And yeah, if you need any questions answered on iRACING, believe it or not, he's not employed by them. He will be able to help you. A whole host of knowledge. So glad Adrian is part of the community. And unfortunately, this time around, because he is based in Australia, someone else has stolen his thunder in regards to summarising this update. So yeah, big shout out to Tobias Saul in this instance. And I'm sorry, Adrian, while you're sleeping, someone else has beaten you to it, but I'm sure he would have done one anyway. So yeah, just a big shout out to those guys, because this is, as I said, there's a lot to break down here. So right, that's enough of the intro. Let's head into what is in this update. So rain, guys, that's where we're going to start with this. That's the big news in this update. It is coming in the season 2 build in March, and it's coming with more cars than it initially was going to be. Firstly, at the end of last year, of course, they postponed it, but they were going to release it with the Ferrari 296, the Formula Ford, and a Toyota GR86. Because they've postponed it and they've had more time to work on it, we're getting more cars. So the Ferrari is gone as per this update. It may still well be added, but we are getting the Formula Ford and Toyota GR86 as planned, but we're getting the Formula 4 instead of the Ferrari. Don't ask me why. That series is crashy enough as it is. Maybe they just want to do it for the memes and the bants. But regardless, I'm actually looking forward to that. My safety rating isn't though, and my I rating, but I'm personally looking forward to it. And we are, interestingly enough, getting the whole IMSA lineup. So yes, we're getting a full lineup of GT3s, GTPs, which are the hypercars, and the LMP2 activated with rain from the start of season 2. Wow, that is mega. Now they've made actual mention here that of course this is for the endurance elements. So IMSA, you can do the IMSA endurance series. There's 2 versions of it, I believe, at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. There's the 2.4 hour one, which can be done on your own, and then there's the longer one, which is normally like 6 to 12 hours as well. So yeah, that is amazing, because as they have stated, this is going to be a dynamic system. So in regards to how this system is going to work from the get-go, there was a lot of discussion in regards to, was it going to be that, like we've got open and fixed series, is there just going to be a series that is just for rain, like a rain series, and ads, which I think wouldn't be great, to be honest with you, because it would diversify the player base even more so than it already is. But yeah, that's definitely not going to be the case. It is going to be fully dynamic. Races are going to be fully dynamic from the get-go. So you could jump into a 15-minute Formula 4 race and have to make a pit stop, if I'm interpreting this information correctly that is within the update, because you won't know what the weather is like. I mean, you'll get a good gauge of it because they've said there's going to be weather forecast systems that you can look at before you enter the race, but generally you'll be able to enter a race. It won't be raining, and then throughout it will start to rain. You'll have to make a pit stop and you'll finish on wet tyres, or vice versa. You'll jump in, it will be raining, and then it might dry up in time, or it might not dry up at all. So you won't really know what the weather is going to be like until you're in a race, which I think is really good because it keeps the random element of these races. And yeah, adds, especially endurance races, adds to just such a great added extra element of strategy, which I love in endurance already, let alone obviously bringing it truer to life in regards to keeping an eye out on weather forecast and that rain system. So yeah, really looking forward to it. They said that throughout the season and the times ahead, they will be turning some of the series on. So every series will start with rain implemented in essence. They'll just be able to turn it on and off whether rain is on by the flick of a switch throughout the season, with just a case of some hotfix updates. So yeah, it won't be like we have to do a massive update like over the next couple of seasons. They'll just be able to flick it on if they see that rain is performing as well as they want it to do in the series and the cars that are currently turned on. So yeah, thoroughly looking forward to that, guys. I'm not sure, as I said, my safety rating and my iRacing is, but look, it's been long awaited. I can only imagine with the amount of time they've spent in regards to doing this, the graphical updates, the physics of it, they're waiting to do this right, and it's not rushed. It definitely hasn't been rushed, that's for sure, unlike maybe some other sims. So yeah, intrigued to see how it will handle. Of course, there's some graphical updates coming with that as well. Intrigued to see how that handles in regards to performance. What am I going to have turned on? What am I going to have to have turned off? Time will tell. But yes, you can look forward to rain at the start of the Season 2 build, which is coming in March. So as is the case with any new build, we get new content, and that comes in the form of new tracks and cars. And firstly, we'll start with tracks, because as it was teased in the last update from the guys at iRacing, we are getting Misano and Portimao. Misano, if you're not familiar with it, is a great circuit. You'll be able to race it in other sims like ACC. And yeah, it has a real nice flow to it. So I've been really looking forward to that one. Another great Italian circuit like we've just had Mugello added as well. And then of course we've got Portimao, which a number of you will be more familiar with due to the likes of In Real Life Series, the World Endurance Championship, the MotoGP, and of course in recent times Formula 1 racing there. So yeah, they've been teased for quite some time. We never knew when they was going to be coming to the platform. Looks like Season 2. So yeah, 2 new tracks on the road side. Then we've also got a dirt oval track coming as well, the Millbridge Speedway. And then we have some new cars. And a nice little surprise here, guys, on the road side of things. We are getting the Dallara 324. Now, you may be asking, what the hell is the Dallara 324? Well, that is the name of the car, which is currently running in the Super Formula Lights series. So that is the junior series to the Super Formula car. And it's also running in the Euro Formula series as well. So in essence, think of it as Dallara's version of the Formula 3 car. That's the best way to describe it. Of course, why are we not getting the official FIA F3 car? Well, that's due to licensing issues. I believe Codemasters, of course, as you're familiar with, They produce the F1 games, and it's the same reason why we don't have a Formula 2 car in iRacing either, because they have the license to that. So yeah, that's why we've got even the F4 car. The F4 car is a mixture of F4 cars across the world, because there's so many different versions of them. So yeah, but apparently I have word on the grapevine from someone who commentates on the Euro Formula Series, that from people who have driven this car in real life, chassis in real life, actually states it is much better than the current F3 car. So yes, that is going to be interesting to see how that translates into the sim, and see whether or not if they still have the same opinion. But I'm looking forward to it. It's coming in at a C license, and well, yeah, as you probably be expected to see, the Dallara F3 car will be eventually discontinued, similar to how the Formula Renault 3.5 is now being discontinued. It will naturally take its place there at the C license level. We've been asking for an update for the Formula 3 car for quite some time. I have very fond memories of that car in series. It's what I started this channel on, was the F3 car, track guides and doing weekly races. So, but it is a good few years old now, about 3-4 years old I think that car is. So yeah, long overdue an update, and yeah, looking forward to that being added at the C license level. And then we have a free dirt car, guys, the Dirt Micro Sprints. Not often we get free content from iRacing. We have seen some more stuff become free in recent times, as of course the portfolio and the expansiveness of the content available on the platform. More stuff is moving to free, so that's coming in at its own rookie series as well, so that'll be good for the dirt side of things. And we also get the SRX car, which was teased in the last development update as well. I think it was supposed to be added in the last development update, but there were some issues that I'm not overly versed in. I did see comments on, so yeah, that is now thankfully coming in this build as well. Now, the most eagerly anticipated feature coming in Season 2, for me, in my opinion, even more so than the Tempest rain system, as much as I have been looking forward to that, is the split of the road license. This is a feature that I think is going to improve our overall experience and enjoyment on iRacing, and it's been something that I've been asking for quite some time, because most people spend most of their time in either one side of the road element, either the open wheel side or the GT side, pretty much. Now, iRacing are referring to these as open wheel and sports cars, and we will now have 2 licenses dedicated to either side of the road element. So yes, you will now be able to dabble a bit more in your tin tops and your open wheelers. Let's be honest, most people focus on one side or the other, and of course those cars drive very, very differently. They're a lot more nimble, some have ABS, some are a lot more in weight as well. And it has always deterred people from trying out the open wheel side, or vice versa, the GT side. And I know for sure that I've definitely not done anywhere near as much GT racing as I would have done if I had 2 dedicated licenses. So how this is going to work, guys, is that your license is just going to be duplicated. So whatever iRacing you are now and safety rating, you'll have the same for open wheel and for sports car. Now, the idea is that eventually your license and your iRating will come down to a level that it feels comfortable. So yeah, don't be too precious, guys, on one side or the other in regards to your iRating. But yeah, hopefully this will just increase the participation of other series overall, and we'll start seeing lots of new faces for the positive, not for the negative, guys. I know there's a few gatekeepers out there, but let's be honest, more of us racing and more people participating in our favourite series on iRacing is only for the better. So yeah, I'm thoroughly looking forward to seeing those, and I know that I'll be definitely doing more GT races and IMSA races and the like with this license split. It's been long time overdue. We got it on the dirt, on the oval side with dirt oval as well a little while back, and yeah, I'm so glad that it's finally here. That is going to improve my experience and many of yours moving forward on iRacing. So yeah, happy days. And finishing off Season 2, guys, we have continued updates to the UI. To me, I've always used the UI. I know some of you out there, you OGs, are very upset about the website no longer being functional and everything going from the UI. But it's great to see how that's evolved over time. And it's one of the best UIs out there, in my opinion, especially with other sims and games in general that I've played. There's some absolutely shocking ones out there. And the 3D Kerbs physics feature that has been recently added to iRacing is continuing to expand across the road courses. Now let's talk about future additions, because this development update isn't just about Season 2. We've got a whole rest of the year ahead of us, as well as they make mention of the most immediate future content which will be coming not in Season 2 is Circuito de Navarra. I'm not too familiar with that circuit, and we also will be getting the Ring circuit on the roadside as well. iRacing have made a little bit of a tease that they will be making a trip to the UK where they're going to scan 2 new circuits. So probably tracks that are in other sims at the moment. Some of the suggestions made in my Discord are Crofton Thruxton. So yeah, we'll see if they're added. I think pretty much most circuits or prominent circuits in the UK on iRacing at the moment. They're the 2. But I agree, actually, that are probably left to come to the platform. Now, of course, on iRacing, it's not just about new circuits. It's also about keeping current circuits and current content up to date. We've had some rescans in the past, but it's been a while since we've had some of the most popular circuits rescanned. And finally, guys, Spa is being rescanned. Oh, happy days, happy days. And as made mentioned by Tobias here, probably ahead of the big special event that iRacing holds each year, the Spa 24 Hours, which is held in July, I believe it is. So yeah, hopefully we get an updated Spa rescan. Monza could do with one as well, and a couple of others I know of. So yeah, hopefully we get some more rescans to keep the platform up to date, because I do get that a lot in the comments of kind of what version of Spa am I racing. I think that's partly why the sim looks old and probably gets a bit of a bad rep in regards to graphics, is because we're on old scans compared to other sims that of course have the latest versions. On the car side, guys, big news for you GT fans out there. The GT3 class is going to see a significant boost in 2024 and into next year, 2025. Of course, if you go into any of the dedicated GT3 sims, ACC as an example, they have, of course, that whole GT3 lineup. You can see how many cars are available to select from in any one race there. And I think that means, of course, that they've got over that bridge of licensing issues. Maybe some of the licensing deals are coming to an end, or exclusivity on other platforms. And yeah, I think, of course, we know we're going to get the Mustang GT3 at some point. They've been seen scanning that in the most recent Daytona 24 Hours. So yeah, that's most likely will be the next GT3 car that comes to the platform, and of course many others as well that are missing on iRacing. Supercars is getting an update as well. Supercars I haven't raced in God knows how long, but it is still very well supported by the Australian community. It has its own dedicated Australian server as well. So some other potential opportunities in Australia, it seems that they're teasing for us. And something that I'm not sure of, there's potentially a bit of a shocker coming on the racing vehicle front. Maybe we'll not spoil the surprise too early on that. What do we think that could be, guys? What do we think could that be? Rally? Could it be rally? I can't imagine we're going to get anything on 2 wheels. But what do we reckon? I don't think it will be F1 as much as I like it to be F1. Maybe it would be a multiple car lineup of F1. That'd be amazing. But I think it's, I don't know. What do you think? What are your ideas there? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't know what we're currently missing from iRacing at the moment that would be a shocker. what would be a shocker that would make you really raise your eyebrows or get you excited to see on iRacing? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. And lastly, guys, touching on performance, as you can see there, improved performance, memory utilization, and multi-threading. I'm not very well versed in the performance side of things, but I know multi-threading is something that people have been asking for quite some time on iRacing. It's very CPU intensive. I'm finding that out as I've kind of upgraded my setup over the years. And yes, it would be great to see it ease the load on the CPU side, that's for sure. Just generally the performance side. But yeah, with rain coming, how much more is that going to take out of our systems? I can only see it being more. However, iRacing has always kind of prized itself on being very accessible on the performance side of things. You don't need a high-end system to run iRacing, and especially on the VR side of things, where of course I started really my sim racing journey, it's just always been very accessible there as well. You don't need a high-end system to run VR. So yeah, I imagine they've spent a lot of time focusing on just making sure that this feature is not going to sap too much out of our systems. So yeah, we'll see. I'm intrigued to see what it will look like on full settings compared to low settings. I'm sure there's some, as always, there's some settings there that we'll want to turn off. But yeah, good to see that iRacing as a whole is heading in the right direction, guys. So yeah, guys, what an update that is. That's why I've summarized this for you guys, because there is a lot of reading there, and the comments as well add even more information. I'm sure they'll be adding and replying to some of those comments that the members of staff of iRacing. They're really good like that, because some people have some really good questions post these updates. So as I said, link for this update will be in the description below. Highly recommend that you go and read it in iRacing's own words. I hope I've done a good job in summarizing this for you. In front of you, of course, is an image of the visibility that we're going to experience once rain is added in only a couple of weeks' time. There is a car in between the GTP and the GT3 there, if you can faintly make it out. So yeah, it's going to be so many crashes. But I'm here for the carnage and I'm here for the memes, guys. So yeah, let me know what you think of this update in the comments below. Yeah, there's a lot to take in. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm thoroughly looking forward to Season 2 and the year ahead on iRacing. Let's go, guys.